So what are some of the common challenges that equestrians come to you with? I know you deal with all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
You deal with mental health issues, addiction, trauma,
Yes.
which I think often go hand in hand with equestrians. And I'm not actually being funny. It is. We're in this very weird space. And I think it's because horses are so healing for so many of us.
Absolutely.
But specifically for equestrians, what is
Yeah.
the benefit? What does this offer?
Okay, so a lot of people come just because they've obviously heard about it and they want to improve their riding. So they're either at the top of their game and they want to keep at that level and just continue their performance in a different way. But a lot of people on the flip side of that come because they've had a fall or they've had a fright and the fear is just uncontrollable. So before, they might have been really good or they might have been achieving on, whatever levels or whatever platforms, and they have this accident or just a fear response to a spook. And it's debilitating, and they regress, and they can't do what they really wanted to do. They don't enjoy being around the horse anymore, and the stress levels just go higher and higher and higher, and it eventually starts affecting the individual on their own identity basis. They're thinking, well, I've identified myself as a rider, and now I can't ride.
And I've got this passion that I love that I can't enjoy.
Yeah, and now I'm not good enough. So a lot of people have that. I would say it's fear and anxiety in show performance is massive. And a lot of this questioning, like I see everybody else doing it, but I just don't seem to be able to get there. So
that whole negative cycle in our heads.
Absolutely, that negative self-talk is really, I think, alive and well. It's alive and well in all of us for good reason, so that we don't do stupid things. But when something has happened, we ruminate on it, we fixate on it, and that unfortunately just makes the whole thing worse and worse. So a lot of people have tried lots of other things and just keep getting stuck, keep getting stuck in the same thought pattern. So what neurofeedback does is it helps them, first of all, recognize their own control and their own ability to regulate their own brain waves and their own emotional responses. And I think that's the power.
So empowering. It's so wonderful to go, you can either feel overwhelmed by that, like,
yes,
I have the power to control this, that's terrible, or it's wonderful.
Absolutely. And this happens in a way that you don't have to think about it, which I think is key. So it happens once we are calmer and our brains are performing better and there's a little bit smoother oscillation everywhere. It's easier for us to do these things that previously were just really difficult for us to do. So you have the ability to focus better. So what we're doing is
help high performance riders as well, not just
absolutely. So in fact, that's why a lot of competitive riders come, is because they want to, as we said, stay on the top of the game. But neurofeedback improves cognitive performance, and it improves it in many different ways. But what we want to do is make sure in the split second, it takes a lot of concentration to ride and to jump and to do, and even if we're just trotting, it takes
trying to stay upright.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a lot of concentration. And that alone chews up quite a lot of brain energy. Okay. So what we want to do is help speed up that processing for the individual, so that they can concentrate at higher levels and for longer, and they can focus on what they need to do rather than focusing on the 50 million people in the crowd.
That's brain fitness.
I wish I had 50 million people watching me. Actually, no.
I take it back. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
So it's literal. We talk about mental fitness.
Yeah.
It's mental fitness.
Absolutely.
It's actually getting the pathways in your brain to operate more effectively and efficiently.
Exactly. So really, and how we often explain to children is it's training the brain's ability to perform a little bit better. And then conditioning that. So literally, if I didn't know that something was wrong, now that I do, and that it's easier for me to access higher levels of thinking and higher levels of concentration, that's what really helps.